Welcome to Buzz in the Tower, a podcast dedicated to the movies of the 1980s and the 1990s. I'm back. I'm Mo Shapiro.
You're sick.
I'm not feeling great, but I'm back.
You have a lozenge in your mouth. How are you going to do a pod with a lozenge in your
And
mouth?
joining me, as always, on the saxophone, Sax Manders.
Saxophone.
Saxophone. I like when I'm sick. I get a nice deepness, a richness to my voice.
Yeah, for me, it's when I'm hungover.
I get in my plums.
Yeah.
Deep in my plums.
My voice can go deep, but it's usually not.
So deep.
Yeah.
I have decided to pull a total 180, and instead of talking about Demolition Man today, we're going to spend the entire episode talking about freak-offs.
What is that?
You don't-
Baby oil stuff?
I want to talk about P. Diddy's freak-offs.
So 1,000, like you have 900.
Have you been following this, Coster? Oh, my
So
dear
they
God, dude.
arrested P. Diddy.
Hold
and
on.
They finally
Slow down.
arrested him.
You're a terrible storyteller. Just ease into it.
Okay.
Are you familiar with the artist Puffy Combs?
Yes, sure.
It has been rumored for a long period of time that he was having these like eyes wide shut parties, except way more nasty than eyes wide shut. Like
The password's orgy.
yeah, like I think he's talking to you. So he recently was served with a federal indictment, which includes such things as kidnapping, racketeering, sex trafficking,
Slavery.
narcotics,
Yeah.
slavery. When they raided his home, they found 1,000
Yep. Packages
of like baby oil.
Yeah.
And
You would think when he had 900, he would stop.
He
He'd
used apparently, allegedly, in case
Yeah.
we're about to be sued, he used to throw these like orgy parties, but they were like he'd hire like male porn stars to like come and engage
oil people up.
Yeah, the whole thing is like so unbelievable. And there's this one woman who for years has been trying to tell people about this, but like without evidence, she just sounded crazy. And now she's got all of her receipts. I see a TikTok video every 5 minutes of her being like, yep. So remember when you thought I was crazy? Well, look, and it's speculated, right? Usher, Bieber, Jay-Z, like and they
Right, the
have thousands
list.
of videotapes.
Oh no.
Apparently a dark web video, again, this is all alleged, like alien abduction type stuff, sold for like $500 million because it was like a tape that had some very, very like Rihanna, like it's the whole industry.
Well, and the theory is he's going to get off or he's going to be killed in jail like Epstein style.
Yeah, he's like the hip hop Epstein.
Yeah. So in the 80s,
Hip hop Epstein. Has anybody coined that? That's awesome.
in the 80s, this was Michael Jackson. Who was it in the 90s? Like the weirdo that like
I don't know, Michael Jackson. I'm with you, but let me just say one thing.
we don't want to wake wild accusations.
No, but like, is it possible?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's innocent, right?
Yeah.
But is it possible in the Michael Jackson thing that his behavior was just so obtuse and so weird that like it lent itself to people because like Macaulay Culkin, Corey Haim,
Yeah.
all those people, Corey Feldman, all those people like
Corey Haim.
adamantly were like he never did anything.
Yeah.
So it's possible he's just super weird and people are trying to cash in. I want to
Yeah.
like
By the way, speaking of which, for Macaulay Culkin,
yes.
December 8th, it's a Sunday, at Masonic Temple in Detroit. You can pay to watch Home Alone with Macaulay Culkin, and there's a Q&A afterwards.
Well, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm going.
That's
you should
actually
go.
really
Yeah.
cool.
You guys should come. Why are you so surprised when I say something cool? You're like, oh, actually. Both of you were flabbergasted.
Because-
I just didn't know that that's something that would exist.
Thank you.
Ever.
Let me give you other examples of. Wait a second. I have something important to tell you. Did you know that shoelaces are for your shoes?
When have I said anything like
Wah, 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 wah.
Sick Mo is angry Mo.
Sick Mo is not doing too good
It
today.
was
We're
weird.
gonna pull it together.
It was weird being in your chair. It was a very interesting, different podcast. We were both like, we were like emotional dudes just opening up on each other about a movie we enjoyed. And we didn't make fun of each other at all. It was a very different
Because
podcast.
you're both idiots. Buzz in the tower.
Because we respected each other for a full hour.
That's not what this show is. I received many complaints about it. So Buzz in the Tower. Let's go back to the show for a minute. This is your first time visiting the show.
The number one Diddy podcast.
You can listen to
Diddy
us.
all the time.
You can
Freak
listen
offs every 10 minutes.
whenever you're done.
Yep.
This is why it's hard to have conversations with Max Coster.
We have 2,000 bottles of baby oil.
Well, that crunch.
Is it cherry flavored?
No.
You do Lipton's?
No.
No.
I do Ricola.
Wow, that was
Sugar-free.
good. Yeah.
Ricola. I should get them to sponsor the show.
By the way, this is why I love my wife.
My wife.
We were talking about the 1,000 baby oil thing, and she goes, I wonder if Johnson & Johnson's stock went down, and she checked the minute by minute of when the news came out, and it went down.
Amazing. You and Selena are in your own little universe. All right, Max, listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any podcast player that you listen to. We're on it. Leave us a 5-star review. Make sure that you subscribe. I noticed on last week's episode, you literally covered none of the normal things that we cover. You guys meandered your way through the episode, forgot to mention things. You got the sponsor, though, so I saw you do the bloop.
We got the 5-star review and the Apple.
It didn't
and stuff.
feel very good.
Well, it was rushed and weird because I don't know how to do it.
I didn't buy it. Yeah. Also, don't forget patreon.com/Buzz in the Tower where you can support the show. At Buzz in the Tower is our social handle. You can check out all of our one TikTok I told you for Necessary Roughness got like 250,000 likes or views. It was popping.
People didn't like how you talked about Herschel Walker.
One person complained about how I talked about Herschel Walker, and I'm like, really? That kind of stuff doesn't make me mad. I get mad when people call out my mistakes, not when they're like, how could you refer to him as a failed gubernatorial candidate? I'm like, because he was. Yeah.
Senatorial.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I just want to say gubernatorial. It's very fancy.
Because of Deadpool?
Yeah. Check us
One more word. Gubernatorial.
Check us out on YouTube where you can actually see how sick I look right now. I feel particularly pasty.
You look normal. You look sick all the time.
Well, thanks. I am dying a slow death. That's youtube.com @Buzz in the Tower, and buzzinthetower.com is the website. And of course, we are brought to you by our friends over at 80stees.com. Coster, make the magic happen. Today we're talking about Demolition Man. This is fun because you have petitioned for more serious films. So I gave you Good Will Hunting while I wasn't gone.
You didn't give it to me.
I gave it to you.
Bruce suggested it.
Everything that you do on this show, I give you,
Okay.
and I can take away.
Okay.
Are we clear?
Yes.
You sit there like a good boy and let me finish. Demolition
Can
Man.
I have some baby oil?
No. Your freak off would be 60 seconds, and it would just be you by yourself with 100 pouches of baby oil bathing in it. I don't know where I went with that.
Yeah, nah.
You can actually leave that. We don't need to edit it.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Wasn't
someone
great.
out there will appreciate it. When did this movie come out, Max? 1997?
93.
93.
Not even
97. I graduated high school in 97. 93.
This is like Tango and Cash for the 90s in the future.
Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
Cash and Tango. You know what I realized watching this movie? And I think
It's delightful.
I think this is something that you and I have said before. I don't know that there's anything that Stallone is in or anything that Schwarzenegger is in that I'm not game for.
Yeah.
Like I certainly can identify like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot was not his best work, but I watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, like there's movies out there that have won Oscars that are considered to be like I've never watched Red Rum, Citizen Kane. I've never watched Citizen Kane, but I've watched Demolition Man 20 times.
Why'd you say Red Rum? I thought you were going with The Shining.
Is Red Rum from The Shining?
Red Rum.
Yeah, you're right.
Rosebud.
Rosebud.
Yeah.
God, thank you.
Not even close.
Rosebud. And then Rosebud.
So
That's fair. That is reasonably close.
I guess.
That's not wacky out of like left field for me to say Red Rum versus
two
Rosebud.
R words.
I hate you so much.
It's like P. Diddy roses a lot of people.
Are we gonna?
Was that close to the word I was thinking of?
Are we gonna? By the way, are we gonna talk about this a lot during the show? P. Diddy?
No, we're
I should've
good.
brought it
Yeah.
up.
But this is the most Jean-Claude Van Damme or Steven Seagal that Sly gets. And this movie was actually started, it was based on an idea for Steven Seagal and Jean-Claude Van Damme to star in.
Yeah.
But Jean-Claude was going to be the bad guy. He didn't want to. He wanted to switch, so they just canceled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So this feels very not early 90s JCVD and Seagal. You know what I mean? Like very cornball, very just roll with it. It's in a wheelhouse.
There's this like one-liner element to lots of Stallone and Schwarzenegger films.
Heads up.
Yeah, no, I mean the best one is send a maniac to catch a maniac. That's my favorite from the whole movie. I'm gonna cough every time I do my Stallone voice.
Why would you destroy $7 million worth of property for a girl who's only worth $25,000 in ransom? You lady, what she said. Yeah. Terrible. Really bad, but you enjoy it. There's Rambo references. There's Schwarzenegger as president references.
There's lots. Does this feel like an R-rated movie to you? It doesn't feel like an R-rated movie to me.
I wrote PG-13 heart.
Yeah.
And
like I feel like they threw a couple boobies in there just because they had the
Playmate
R-rating.
booby.
Yeah.
That was when he's like looking through the television thing.
Television thing.
That was the Penthouse Playmate of the Year.
You wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
It's classic, Max. Show some respect.
Would you use those VR headsets rather than fluid transfer?
All right, come on now.
Ew, fluid transfer.
I think your favorite thing is fluid transfer. You're so moist. Your mouth is always in your nose and your ears. You got fluid everywhere.
I do. So I make sure I don't watch pimple popping videos because I know if I did, I'd never stop.
Yeah.
Like I'd die of dehydration and starvation.
Did I tell you about my latest weird fetish?
No.
ASMR.
Oh, follow Gibby, Gibi.
All right.
She's incredible.
So I watch it at night to put me to sleep.
Yeah. It's the
Is
best.
that weird? Okay, because I didn't know anything about it. Now I'm like super into it.
Selena told me it's soft porn though. Which
Is it?
I guess. I mean, like I follow very attractive women who do it.
See, I don't. Well, maybe you're looking at different things than I am. I like watching these like barbers that like shave, and, like, give massages.
Yeah.
But that doesn't sound like
You follow the tattooed guy?
You know, I got to tell you something.
What?
I've realized, I just realized on this episode, Coster, take a note. When I'm sick and my brain is like functioning at what I'm going to call half capacity.
This is me?
I'm literally like in sync with you.
Yeah.
I can't focus on the show. We're talking about P. Diddy, ASMR. I'm saying insane things. It's going to be a long episode of which we're going to talk about Demolition Man for 5 minutes. I did get feedback though. Who was it? One of the guys at my fire station was like, I have to admit, I listened to your show when I have to drive to Port Huron.
Yeah.
And he's a movie guy. So this all came about because we were doing this training and someone cut his thumb. And the guy goes, "Hey man, you're bleeding." And I go, "I ain't got time to bleed." And then my buddy Mac, the guy who built this table, he goes, "You got time to duck?" And I go, "Dug in there like an Alabama tick." And so we started talking about Predator. And one of the guys on our station was like, "Oh, I don't think I've seen that." And I was like, "Oh, they should like force you to see that before you get certified as a firefighter." But he said his favorite part of the show is the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, the facts are cool and everything, but like when you guys are rattling off at each other and acting weird in the first 15 minutes, Max will love to hear that. That's he wants a whole show dedicated.
You need to
that.
watch this show called The Yak. It's a part of Barstool. It's them just doing stupid stuff for 2 hours.
Yeah, well, that sounds like us. All right,
just farts and coffee.
I'm going to bring us back in because I don't know how much longer I can do this particular episode before I pass out at the table. So let's get back to Demolition Man.
Okay.
Demolition Man, give me a comparative Stallone or Schwarzenegger film.
So, like I said, Tango and Cash, it feels that way with the explosions, the corniness, the one-linerness.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of Running Man. Not Running Man, Total Recall.
Yeah.
Like a lesser version.
Is it just the sci-fi that makes you feel that way? Because the tone of Total Recall is much more dystopian.
That's true, but it is funny too.
Yeah.
But
this feels to me, I don't know, man. This feels to me like one of those films that wasn't entirely sure what it wanted to be. The opening scene of the movie, which originally they didn't even shoot. They went back and added it. Or the screenplay didn't originally have it.
It's a great line. The reason they added it, they had this screenwriter, Daniel Waters, who not Daniel Waters, sorry, that's another. Fred Decker, who also wrote Monster Squad, RoboCop 3, The Predator, and Ricochet.
Okay.
He rewrote so that they had that explosion in the beginning. And his quote was, "If you don't show Kansas, Oz isn't all that special."
It's a
good
great
line?
quote.
Yeah.
The tone and the feel. Like when you first see the beginning of this, you're
it's
like,
a hard
this
movie.
this is a hard action film, right? Like you're like, okay, I'm ready for this. Yeah.
Apocalypse.
And then it goes to like silly very fast.
It does.
And by the way, I don't mind it at all.
Yeah.
There's things about this movie that I think are fun. I mean, first of all, the explosion at the beginning of the movie, unsurvivable. Like they could have at least made it like feasible for him to survive. Like he didn't survive that explosion.
No.
It completely like demolished the entire building.
By the way, if you watch that scene, you can hear cheering in the background when there's explosion. It's the director.
Oh,
he was so excited.
It's an absurd explosion. I mean, you have all of the makings of a classic action film. You've got Joel Silver, you've got Stallone, you got Rob Schneider. You can't have an action film without Rob Schneider.
Even like your B level, like your Benjamin Bratz, your Dennis Leary, the guy from Beetlejuice.
Can we talk about that for a second? It's Othos. It's the same character. It's like literally the exact same character. Yeah.
Except he doesn't worship the dead. He just follows whoever is there.
Yeah.
But
after like when did Beetlejuice come out? 88. So after a 5-year break, he comes back to revive his role as Othos in Demolition Man.
He's also the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
So
for the voice. Yeah, for sure.
But they do a really good job with the future in this one. Like the fact that it's a dystopian place where like Taco Bell took over everything. They're wearing the kimonos. There's no fluid transfer when it comes to...
They won the fast food wars.
Yeah. Although, in every country besides the U.S., it's Pizza Hut. So they superimposed.
The reason you know that, and the reason I know that is because where you and I both watched this film, we had the European version.
Yeah.
So as I'm watching this version of the film, we'll have to give clips to Coster to show this because it's absolutely fascinating. So my whole life, I've seen this movie 100 times. it's Taco Bell, it's Taco Bell, it's
Yeah.
Taco Bell. All of a sudden, I see like a dub over with Stallone, and they're like, or the guy's like, I'd like to invite you to dinner tonight at Pizza Hut. And I'm like, Pizza Hut. So I Googled it and found it as well. And it's so lazy how they do it because all they do is they dub over, but on the windows, it still says Taco Bell. So
Yeah,
do you
I
know
know.
why they do this?
It's because it wasn't familiar. It wasn't.
In Europe, there's
Yeah.
no Taco Bell, which
Yeah.
is incredible to me. How can they survive?
Don't want to go there.
Yeah, just as a quick reminder, too, what this movie's about. With innocent victims caught in the crossfire in Los Angeles, intensifying war on crime, both John Spartan, police officer, played by Sylvester Stallone,
Great name.
and violent thug Simon Phoenix, another great name, by the way, played by Wesley Snipes, are sentenced to a state of frozen incarceration known as CryoPrison. When Spartan is finally thawed 36 years later, it's 2032, and Los Angeles is now the Pacific utopia called San Angeles. But with Phoenix again on the loose, Spartan must team up with future cop Lenina, played by Sandra Bullock.
Sandra?
Sandra. Dude, I am barely here.
Sandra Bullock.
To apprehend the killer.
I kind of like that future. Like, I don't understand what Dennis Leary was rebelling against. He makes a speech. He's like, I want to eat ribs and get super drunk.
He's too much. He's
But,
too much.
Like, what?
He's trying to be George Carlin and Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Not Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Yeah. He's not very spastic in that. He's calm. That's a terrible analogy.
Yeah, you're right.
George Carlin,
I'm going to bed.
On stage, maybe. Yeah.
He was too much for me in this movie.
Yeah, but like they're eating rat burgers and he's like, I want to live. I want to have dirty, homeless orgies in the sewers.
Soup kitchen?
I mean, like, yeah. I don't get his plot. And also, like, it seems like San Angeles is actually a really great place for the most part.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it all depends on what your definition of freedom is. Because freedom ain't free. It costs you and me.
I guess. I mean, like, there hasn't been a murder there in like forever.
Murder, death, kill, a 187.
Yeah.
I got a 187.
I like that the cops aren't able to handle one guy. They're just all freaked out.
Yeah, I like that every single cop from the past is dead, except for the chopper pilot who has survived and is like, Jack Spartan.
John
Spartan. Spartan. Wesley Snipes is fantastic in this.
He's really good.
He's a wild dude. Wild.
So, I mean, he's insane in general. I mean, you saw him in the Blade. He's playing Blade in the new Deadpool.
I saw the new Deadpool.
Yeah.
I tell you that. When Elektra and all of them, what's her face?
Channing Tatum?
No.
Jennifer Garner?
Yeah. When I saw Jennifer Garner and when I saw Wesley Snipes, I was like, yeah, this is worth the trip to the theater. This is fantastic.
Wesley goes for it. And also, like, I love that he speaks Spanish fluently.
Yeah.
I guess that wasn't in the script.
Yeah.
He kind of just did it for fun.
Yeah.
And everyone started laughing.
Yeah, he's great. Stallone is Stallone.
This is his arrogant phase. He's like, I can do anything.
So when they made the cryo popsicles, they made these like molds of the body, and he took special care to make sure that the genitalia was fairly represented, if not exaggerated, in the molds. Did you know this?
No, I didn't. I didn't even see it. You see his butt.
Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of his
giblets
of his Franks and beans.
Yeah,
but like even I don't know, even if you couldn't see it in film, in making these molds, he was very hands-on with making sure he was accented in the right places.
But even the little details that they teach you things while you're in cryoprison, that he was like an expert at knitting.
Yeah.
I thought that was really charming and fun. Yeah. Or the seashells. I think that's what carries on.
Did you ever figure out how to use the seashells?
Yeah. So
I'd like to know, how does one use the seashells?
Well, first of all, it came from screenwriter Daniel Waters. He was having trouble thinking of something futuristic for the bathroom because he wanted to have like a funny scene with like, how do you use these? And he called a buddy who was another screenwriter, and he's like, I'm in the bathroom right now, and there's some ornamental seashells. He's like, I'll work with that. And Stallone said, the director is quoted as saying, it was explained to me by the writer, is you hold two seashells like chopsticks, and you pull gently and scrape what's left with the third. Sounds terrible.
Sounds like a wonderful experience.
I'd rather use toilet paper.
You know what else I love is when the murders are taking place and they're all like, what the hell? And like Rob Schneider just turns and throws up into a basket, like rookie in the back, puking his guts out. A lot of just like inadvertent and unnecessary racism. I don't know if racism is the right word, but do you remember when Wesley Snipes walks by the 5 or 6 Asian kids and he's like, oh, ching chong, ching chong. I was like, Jesus,
I don't remember that.
It's awful. I'm like, that doesn't feel very good. I don't know if I like that. That's not nice at all.
And his blonde hair was ridiculous. He hated it during the movie, but it actually inspired Dennis Rodman to start dyeing his hair.
Yeah. I don't know who
Dennis Rodman.
I don't know who Josh Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
I know Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Why are you fumbling? I'm the one who's on my deathbed.
I'm nervous that you're going to lash out on me.
You're all pasty and God, I hate you. I'm going to lash out at you.
We were supposed to record yesterday and you're like, I can't do it.
Yeah, I was feeling like awful and I thought I'd feel better today. I should have let you just record solo.
So solo Demolition Man podcast.
Amazing.
It's like the worst idea
I'd
ever.
I'd watch that. You mentioned there's a couple good throwbacks, like "Excuse me, Rambo, I need to borrow this," and that's a good tip of the hat. The Schwarzenegger library, when they're like,
president?
he was the president. Yeah, the 62nd Amendment allows for a non-natural born citizen. I was like, that's great.
My dad still thinks he wants him to be president. Like he hopes.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
he's a little old. But
let's not get too political, but I certainly think he's a better option than what we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
I love the classic Sandra Bullock misuse of like colloquialisms, he's finally matched his meat. You really licked his ass.
Close enough.
Yeah, those things are good.
Do you think she's good in this movie?
So let me tell you something interesting. It's not so much that I think she's good. I think this is the most attractive version of her in any film she ever made. Yeah, I'm saying it.
Speed.
No. She's hotter in this.
Wildcat.
I think she's hotter in this.
Hottest is Miss Congeniality.
No, I think she's hottest in this. Something about her.
Costner? What do you think?
Costner like Kevin Costner? Because that's Coster.
Coster.
We've only been working with him for a year. It's Coster. Coster. Say it. Say it. Say it.
Coster. What do you think?
I love Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, thank you.
Sandra Bullock.
She's hot. She'll have a burger. She'll beat you up.
But that's like literally like a plot point of the movie, though, is that she's a flip from her being like a nerdy version. So you got to give a little credit there. Like they're buffing it up a little bit to make it her very, very attractive. Which she is.
Blindside, she can adopt me, make me play football.
Make me play. I don't think that's the story. I don't think that he was made to play football.
He didn't seem like he wanted to.
You're not getting adopted unless you bring mama her big contract.
That kind of was what happened in real life.
Sounds like a freak off to me. It's terrible. Oh, it's good. So when she eventually is using her karate at the end of the movie, and he says, "Where'd you learn to kick like that?" And she replies, "Jackie Chan movies."
Yeah.
Funny part about that, Jackie Chan was originally up for the role of Simon Phoenix.
Yeah, he didn't want to be
the bad guy.
A villain, yeah.
He would have been amazing as Simon Phoenix.
He's never been a villain, has he?
No.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like Terminator 2, the frozen head. This is where the movie does feel R-rated, right? There are these moments like his head's severed and you can see like the red blood that's frozen going everywhere.
The virtual sex.
The virtual sex did not feel R-rated because it only showed like minor.
It was like they were both on ecstasy at a rave.
Yeah, I'm sure for you it was triggering, but for me, I was just like, yeah, I don't understand this.
Watching Stallone's O face is kind of strange though.
Yeah,
like with no like context, he's just like,
So they were gonna this whole idea that he had a daughter was gonna be something they played up and they eventually abandoned it. I actually think it would have been kind of cool if they had leaned into it a little bit.
Who would you want to play his daughter?
What if he had found out that it was Sandra Bullock and he never knew and he had virtually
the plot of Old Boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the plot of Old Boy?
Yeah.
I've never seen Old Boy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't tell me.
Well, now you know.
Now you know, and knowing
guy gets
half the
tricked
battle.
into
all right,
sleeping with his daughter.
Okay, God bless America. Give me some of your favorite scenes of this wonderful film.
Oh my God. Any scene with the guy who's running like the whole shebang, all his what's his name? Governor Dr. Raymond Cochier.
Yes. Yes.
He's just
salutations.
Yeah, he's just when he's like talking to Simon Phoenix and Simon can't kill him. I like Simon learning that he has like powers and can tap into things. He's like, oh my God, because we all dream of that. We're gonna wake up one day and just have knowledge of something.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's just like his murder death spree is incredible.
Jesus. The opening of this film was shot in Los Angeles 6 months after the 92 riots. So, like, I feel like there was a total lack of sensitivity in doing this whole thing because, like, there was very...
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes did not want to do this at first, and they went to visit him on a movie that he was working on to convince him, which was Rising Sun, which I love.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I love Rising Sun. I'm a black belt. Of course you are, darling. Anything with Sean Connery.
And Dan Cortez is in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's the piano player at Taco Player.
Taco player.
He plays the mean taco.
It's so weird. What's the commercial he's singing when they go in there? I can't remember now.
I don't know. It's some jingle.
Yeah. That whole jingle thing is super weird.
The fact that the jingles are now the music of the time. What other things? Oh, that no swearing's allowed. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And the little alerts and tickets that you get when you swear. I ththought that was kind of...
And the cops have like a little electric of stunners.
Yeah.
And the kimonos. Like it felt like a very lived-in world, even though it was corny. It felt like a B movie, like Ice Pirates.
Some of the people that they were looking at instead of Sandra Bullock, in fact, one that was actually shot scenes and ended up not going with her, was Lori Petty.
Oh, she would have been good
from Point Break and Tank Girl.
Yeah,
and A League of Their Own. She would have been. I think she would have been good. But they shot a couple scenes with her, and that's when they got rid of her and they brought in Sandy.
It was probably Sly being difficult.
I mean, certainly that's his thing.
Yeah. Do you think he's like dialed down now that he's older?
No, he doesn't seem dialed down.
Yeah.
Have you seen his daughters?
They're all smoke shows.
Yeah. So Daniel Waters, who also wrote, I think you talked about this, Heathers and Batman Return, he was responsible for the first draft of Demolition Man. And that was where the 3 seashells was from him, right?
Yeah, his friend.
Did you mention that he also did those other movies? I didn't think you did.
I did not.
No problem.
Yeah.
You're good. We talk about Dan Cortez. I think he took all my cool facts. I don't have a whole lot else.
Fans paid over $1,000 for the police uniforms worn in this.
Okay.
So good memorabilia. It's a weird movie where it's almost like a touch point where if you know someone really likes movies, if they enjoy this movie and they talk about the seashells, you're like, okay, this is a person who can go B-level and really enjoy that stuff.
Yeah. When the LA Convention Center was built in the 90s, Demolition Man was the first production to film there, using it as the Cocktail Center or whatever the hell it's called. But other notable movies that shot scenes at the LA Convention Center are Rush Hour, Super Troopers, The Dark Knight, and Face Off.
Oh my God.
So they're in good they're in good company.
And also the futuristic cars. I guess Oldsmobile gave them $67 million worth of futuristic vehicles.
Yeah.
Pretty cool looking. And like the whole, like all the highways have the cars and stuff like that. It's pretty neat.
Yeah. It has no shortage of kind of creative Back to the Future fun.
The self-driving car that like kind of like
shrinks
inflates
the wheel in. Yeah. And then like the whole
photon
airbag. No, the whole airbag that's just foam filling it up.
Yeah.
The part of it that I find the most endearing is this idea that because they've gone so long without violence and so long without
They
problems,
can't do anything.
that they really they don't know what to do, right? So they're like, oh, well, we will just apprehend him, nobody can fight, nobody can do anything. And meanwhile, Simon Phoenix has been, while he's asleep, trained on like karate and killing and all types of computer hacking and fun stuff like that. It has a little bit of a Matrix feel to it in that regard, right?
Yeah.
The uploading the information while you're out cold. Max, do you want to hop into characters?
Absolutely.
Let's hop into characters.
So director, there's a reason why this movie bombed. It made $58 million on a $59 million budget.
Oh, there you go.
And it's supposed to be like a big deal, too.
Sure.
Director Marco Brambilla. Before this, he only did one thing. He did a CNC Music Factory video, and that was it.
Was it Everybody Dance Now?
Yeah, it's like their big one or whatever it was. Yeah. And
Everybody Dance Now.
And after this, he only did short movies and a Kanye West music video. That was it.
Was it called Freak Off?
It was Power.
Sorry. I really can't help myself.
He's best friends with Diddy, actually.
Yeah, I got you. Trust
no,
me,
he's
I
not.
know.
He's
No, he's not. They're just making things up. Continue.
The writers were Peter M. Lenkoff, who did Son-in-Law, The Crow, Stairway to Heaven, Universal Soldier 24, R.I.P.D., Hawaii Five-0, CSI New York, and MacGyver. So kind of cornball writing. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of really feel his.
Yeah.
Robert Renault, who did Action Jackson and this, and that was it. Yeah, right? So they knew what they were doing.
A new action.
Yeah. And Daniel Waters, like you said, who did Heathers, Hudson Hawk, and Batman Returns.
Yeah.
I've never seen Hudson Hawk. Is it good?
It's really good.
Okay, I want to watch it.
I mean,
it bombed.
So I think it's great because it's got a lot of. It's Bruce Willis kind of letting loose a little bit. He's having a little fun.
Yeah,
right.
It's a heisty movie, right?
Yeah.
I gotta see it.
But it's very like it's campy heisty movie, but it's good. You should watch it.
I will.
Yeah.
So we got Detective John Spartan, played by Sly Stallone. His movies have generated $4.5 billion in revenue. That's a ton. He was
no joke, dude.
Expelled from 13 schools as a kid, troublemaker, birth complications, why he has slurred speech.
Yeah.
Turned down Superman. I didn't know that.
You mean Marlon Brando, like Superman, or the
Christopher Reeves?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't going to play Jor-El.
How old would he? Yeah, you're right. I guess age-wise, that would have made sense.
Yeah, but he wasn't famous. Wait, I mean, Superman came out 78. Was Rocky 76?
I think right around there.
Yeah. So I guess he was big enough by then. But he would have been weird as Superman. He's too small.
He would have been a good Superman.
Yeah. You can't have Superman slurring.
No.
Yeah.
No. You also could not be Superman.
And by the way, if anyone out there wants a Netflix movie,
wow.
Yeah, no, hold on.
If anyone, quick question: the stroke you're having. At what point should we call 911?
If anyone wants a Netflix movie that has a Rambo-inspired theme. This new movie on Netflix called Rebel Ridge. It's like this military guy comes to town and the cops mess with him and they don't know to push him too far. But I'm telling you, it's a really good movie.
Right.
I'm telling you, it's excellent. But Sly has an incredible career. I mean, all the Rocky movies, Nighthawks, Victory, First Blood, all the Rambos, Cobra, Over the Top, Lockup,
Stop him, I'll shoot.
No. Tango and Cash, Cliffhanger, Demolition Man, Judge Dredd, Daylight, Copland. Nothing in the last 20 years that really matters.
That show where he's a gangster.
King.
Yeah.
Is it
you
good?
Watch it? I've caught clips of it. It looks okay.
It looks okay, yeah.
It's really hard. I give any credit to anyone who allows their career to adapt as they get older because, like, I will always see Stallone as, like, this. So it's hard for me to appreciate him. Copland, he was incredible.
Who do you think is the best A-level actor?
Tom Hanks.
To adjust to old age?
Hanks.
No.
Tom Hanks.
He's had a terrible 25-year run.
I disagree.
What's been good in the last...
Catch Me If You Can.
That was 2001.
Right. And my Tom Hanks is like big, splash, you know.
He converted from young comedian, like a Jim Carrey level, to an A-list celebrity. I'm saying the A-list celebrity going into old age and changing
Keanu
with that.
Reeves.
He's still an action star. I'm saying like someone adapting. The answer
Rob
is
Schneider.
The answer is Paul Newman.
Newman.
You answered that so incorrectly both times.
There you go. I pulled a max. Unbelievable.
Simon Phoenix played by Wesley Snipes. Yeah, like he hasn't aged well because he's crazy.
Who?
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, I know. He's crazy.
He was in jail from
so bad in Coming to America too.
He was in jail from 2010 to 2013.
Tax
evasion.
Evasion. Yeah.
Fifth degree black belt. They had to slow down his kicks in this movie because he was doing it so fast the camera couldn't catch it at that time. So if he looks kind of stilted or kind of awkward, it's because he had a cough in the middle of my facts. Do it.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Do it slowly.
I'm sorry.
They had to slow down the cameras because he was just kicking too fast. So he looks kind of stilted because he's going like slower.
Yeah.
All the Blade movies, Wildcats, Major League. He's in the Bad music video, which is pretty cool. King of New York, New Jack City, White Man Can't Jump, Passenger 57. I haven't seen
Always bet on black.
I haven't seen Tu Wong Fu.
I haven't either.
It seems like fun.
Yeah,
Money Train is excellent. I'd love to do Money Train sometime.
I bet you would.
It's the best Jennifer
I'll take
Lopez
it under consideration.
The Fan, which is terrible. Undisputed and Expendables 3. Sandra Bullock, who, for as big as she is, she hasn't done that many movies. She just got like 67 credits.
Did you watch, is it called Bird Box or whatever? That big thing that was like a huge
where you
deal
can't look or
ago?
something.
Yeah. Did you watch that?
Yeah.
I never saw it.
It was okay.
Everybody said it was great.
Yeah. She speaks German and her dad is her manager. She survived a plane crash in Wyoming in 2000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know how you survive a plane crash. It's crazy.
Well, it could just be like a landing issue.
It was.
Like a,
Yeah. But
like most people, if they fly into the side of the mountain, they're not going to survive. Like there's levels of crashes.
It's true. You ever seen Alive? That's a pretty sweet movie.
Yeah.
What's the best plane crash movie? What are the best plane crashes on screen? Flight is the best one.
I was going to say Flight.
I was like Passenger 57.
Is there a flight? Is there a crash in that one?
How about what's the
Con
one?
Air?
Con yeah, duh. Con Air for sure.
Oh yeah,
they crashed into Vegas.
Forgot. That is amazing.
That is the
most
best
mayhem
hands down.
thing
Absolutely.
ever. Yeah.
So Sandra Bullock, she did Speed, which I like. Wildcat.
Speed.
While You Were Sleeping is really cute. You seen that one? Bill Pullman, he wakes up from a coma and he thinks she's his girlfriend, but he's not.
Yeah, maybe I have seen that one.
It's Peter Gallagher. It's really cute. A Time to Kill, Miss Congeniality.
She was great in A Time to Kill.
Yeah. The Blind Side, The Heat, Ocean's 11. The Heat's good. It's actually like the...
Oh, yeah. Her and that
Melissa
comedian.
McCarthy.
Yeah, I have seen that. It's funny.
It's a good buddy cop. They don't do buddy cops anymore.
No.
I'm trying to think of less buddy cop is like that and 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street. Yeah.
My name is Jeff. Dr. Raymond Coutu is played by Nigel Hawthorne, who has done Nothing I Knew, but he was supposed to play Gandalf. In Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
He turned it down.
All right.
Yeah.
Benjamin Bratt.
He's great. And like whenever you see him in a movie, isn't it just comforting? You're just like...
It's great that they put him with Sandra Bullock for Miss Congeniality. They have great chemistry with each other. Then what was it Law and Order that he was on?
He's one of the
forever?
cops. Yeah. But he's actually married to Talisa Soto, who was Katana in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Remember that? She's good looking. And he was engaged to Julia Roberts for 4 years.
Sure.
Didn't know
I
that.
feel like everybody was engaged to Julia Roberts for 4 years.
Yeah, Lyle Lovitz, Kiefer Sutherland, was Richard
Rob
Gere.
Schneider.
Oh, I didn't know this. This is pretty mind-blowing. You know the movie Coco?
The Disney Pixar. Yeah.
He's the voice of Ernesto de la Cruz.
Oh, yeah. You could tell.
Really?
Have you watched Coco?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Immediately. His voice is very distinctive.
It is. He's one of the most handsome men on the planet.
Pretty handsome.
Yeah. It's good looking. Chief George Earl is Bob Gutton, who played the Warden, Warden Norton in Shawshank Redemption.
Yep.
And also he plays Burton Quinn in Ace Ventura 2. The evil guy who can't stand the nails on the dishes.
Yep.
And Broken Arrow.
Ace Ventura 2.
Broken Arrow, John Travolta kills him. Associate Bob is played by Glenn Shaddix, who's Beetlejuice Otho. Heathers, he's Father Ripper. And like I said, he's the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yep.
Kind of weird he doesn't have many other roles. Is he back in Beetlejuice?
He might not be alive.
Oh, let me check it out. I think you're right.
I feel for some reason like he might have passed away.
Because he looks like he's made out of meringue.
I don't think that's very nice.
He does.
Kind of hurtful.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah. When? You know how I know he died? Because I think they played. I think I read that at his funeral they played the banana boat song.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Did everyone dance?
I don't think everybody did.
Come, Mr. Dally Man, dally a banana.
Dally me bananas.
Yeah, 2010.
Yeah.
10,010.
He died in 2010? He's from the future. So is he alive? I'm confused. Did he die or is he alive?
He died now, but in the future they revive him.
Yes.
And he's a killer robot.
Yes.
I think we just got our movie screenplay.
Oh my God.
He invented Pop-Tarts.
10,010.
So young Zachary Lamb, you know the cop who's like, we need John Spartan later when he's on the helicopter in the beginning. Does he look familiar?
A little bit. Is he one of the Johnsons from
he's
Die
Little
Hard?
Johnson in Die Hard. So I think we've gone through the whole cast.
Sure. At least the ones that we wanted to go through.
I mean, Rob Schneider too.
Rob Schneider. Fumbalaya. Fumbaruski.
What's his worst movie? The Stapler?
Rob Schneider is the Stapler. God, South Park.
He's got some directed TV movies I didn't even know about.
I mean, his worst role ever is as a father.
Jesus.
Wah, 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 wah.
I wouldn't comment on anyone's fathering.
It's a lot going on right now.
He had a very sentimental.
He did. He had a very sincere. I shouldn't have even said that. I feel guilty now.
Yeah.
Thanks for making me feel guilty. I hate you so much.
He is 5'3". It's probably hard to go through life being 5'3".
I wouldn't know. I'm not 5'3".
Not anymore.
Is Costner 5'3"? Costner, are you 5'3"?
5'4".
Oh, you are? Costner is 5'4". Costner is 5'3". Max, that wraps the show. It's been great chatting with you. Why don't we just slide on over to that buzz in the tower? Sweet.
Baby oil
plums,
covered.
Plums. Spotlight. Max, today's Buzz in the Tower fan spotlight is comedian Patrick Ramirez.
Are you doing Highlander or are you doing Aliens?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. There's two Ramirez. I'm doing Highlander.
What does it go? Ramirez.
In Highlander.
Oh, it is
when
Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
That's
Ramirez.
That's a good Clancy
That's actually
Brown.
a really good Clancy Brown line.
You're right.
How dare you?
Yeah, sorry.
Aliens would be more like Ramirez.
Yeah. She's doing pull-ups.
We're all dead, man. Game over.
She's played by a Jewish gal.
I know.
Yeah.
Who's now in her professional life sells bras for exceptionally busty women. That's the name of her company.
So if you ever leave your
bras
family.
for exceptionally busty. No, it's like, I don't know the technical term, but it's like voluptuousbras.com. Go ahead and check that out.
Yeah.
I haven't been there.
The weird science correlation.
Please look it up. / yum.
Oh, what is it called? In weird science, it's like knee shooters. If you want knee shooters, have knee shooters.
Jesus Christ. Can we class this show up a little bit?
No.
I take 1 week off. And
I want to get
when
less
I come
classy.
back. I know you really do.
I want to slum it.
Anyways, Ramirez. Let's hear what he had to say about. Give some information about him before I kick over. His
Patrick
video.
Ramirez Comedy on Instagram, and he's also on YouTube. And just check him out; it's really funny.
All right, sweet. Let's hear what Ramirez had to say about Demolition Man.
What's up, guys? This is Patrick Ramirez talking Demolition Man
Ramirez.
from 1993. This movie stars Sylvester Stallone, Wesley Snipes, Sandra Bullock, and Dennis Leary for some reason.
Good energy.
This was a movie I had to sneak rent from Blockbuster Video because I was too young to see it in the theaters because it was rated R. And when I first saw it, I was blown away by Sandra Bullock. I couldn't get enough of her. And I was a huge Stallone guy. He was coming off of Cliffhanger, and I needed to see him break out of that block of ice. This movie checks so many boxes for me. It's got early 90s action. It's got a futuristic LA. It's got blonde Wesley Snipes. And of course, it's got plenty of Stallone grunts.
It does.
One question remains, though. What was up with the 3 seashells? We may never know. Thanks for selecting this movie, guys, and keep up the good work.
He gets it.
Ramirez. Coster, critical. I need you to loop in a from Highlander, Ramirez, to replace one of mine so people can see how much I sound like him.
And we answered the 3 seashells.
We did. And the Sandra Bullock thing, I'm telling you, man. Like,
I guess.
I'm a connoisseur of her work.
Too prim and proper. Too like,
no.
Like she was laughing at the fact she's like, they matched his meat. And he's like, I don't like the haircut too. It's too like Betty Boop.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
like
wrong.
Long hair.
Like you're
long hair, don't care.
Long tall.
Let it grow out.
She's so
I like a
sweet.
full bush.
God, Jesus Christ, Max.
Barbara Bush.
Not okay. Not okay. Not okay. All right, well, Max, that concludes my first episode back. I took one week of vacation in 4 years. I know for you, this is no new thing. You're literally gone every other week.
I mean, we adjusted your schedule more than mine.
Yeah, that's because I am significantly more important than you.
It's true.
Max, another great show for those, again, on their first trip down Demolition Man lane. Please leave a 5-star review, put some nice words in there, subscribe, follow, review, all that fun stuff. Apple Podcast, Spotify. You can also find us on any social media platform at Buzz in the Tower. Huge shout out again to our sponsors, 80stees.com, where you can get the best of nostalgia on your t-shirt. I just can't beat that. Buzzinthetower.com is the website where you can buy our t-shirts, patreon.com/buzzinthetower to support the show. And what am I forgetting?
None. You did good.
I feel like I did good. Max, I'm sorry. I know I didn't bring my A game today.
No,
I'm dying.
You went down to my level.
I'm dying. Ramirez.
For one, can we do like a Patreon episode where we just talk?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. I don't know what we would talk about.
Pop-Tarts.
We have nothing in common.
Mudang the hippo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Max, how do you want to end this show?
Simon says bye.
You know how I'm going to end the show, right?
What? Ramirez?
Ramirez.